At the start of the episode, the teacher visits Sakura's home to have a serious conversation. He explains that while starting a business, especially one involving accessories, isn't necessarily a bad thing, doing so within the school premises isn't appropriate. He calmly tries to make Sakura understand this. Meanwhile, the two girls who had earlier misrepresented Natsume's accessories apologize to Himari. They admit they never expected things to get this out of hand. Afterward, we see Himari walking alone, clearly troubled. She's unsure how to support Natsume through all this. Then she spots Natsume and, as usual, gives him a playful slap on the back. But this time, he doesn't respond like he normally does. Instead, he quietly heads to his seat without saying much. Himari realizes he's still deeply affected by everything that's happened. In class, Natsume isolates himself, sitting silently in a corner. Himari tries to stay positive, thinking he'll bounce back with time. Later, she and Inomoto talk about Natsume and wonder what will happen to his shop. Inomoto is clearly worried, saying he must be struggling a lot. But Himari remains hopeful. She believes he's too passionate about making accessories to give up now. She even points to the pendant he made as proof of his dedication. That's when Inomoto says something profound. When something you love ends up hurting you, that pain leaves a permanent scar. But Himari brushes it off, muttering that Inomoto is acting like a lecture-giving teacher. The conversation turns tense. Inomoto tells Himari she should check on Natsume, but Himari insists he'll be fine on his own. Then Inomoto accuses her of pretending to be innocent, bringing up how Himari faked being asleep at Natsume's place just to cuddle him. Flustered, Himari says she never did anything like that on purpose. As they argue, Natsume suddenly appears. Himari asks what's in the box he's carrying. He replies that it's filled with the broken accessories that students returned, and then he walks into the lab. Himari turns to Inomoto and says, "See? I told you Natsume is stronger than you think." But their argument continues. Inside the lab, Natsume silently opens the box. The accessories are completely ruined. Himari tries to cheer him up, saying new orders will come in. But Natsume just says he has no intention of fixing them. Now Himari really begins to worry. She can sense something's wrong, that Natsume still hasn't healed from the fallout. So she suggests they all go out to refresh their minds, maybe go shopping. Inomoto agrees and suggests buying summer outfits. But then Natsume drops a bombshell. He says he's quitting his accessory business until graduation. Himari laughs at first, thinking he's joking, but quickly realizes he's serious. She snaps at him, "You can't just quit. This is your dream. How can you walk away from it?" But Natsume responds calmly, saying, "I've made up my mind. People are saying all sorts of things. Behind my back, I can't ignore it anymore. I'm not giving up forever. I just want to pause everything until after graduation." Trying to lighten the mood, Himari offers him juice, but he refuses. A small struggle over the bottle causes it to spill all over him. Frustrated, Himari scolds him, "See? You always mess things up." Then, more softly, "But when you're working on accessories, your eyes shine so brightly. I love seeing that. Please don't stop, I want to support you." But Natsume coldly replies, "My eyes aren't shining for that anymore." Desperate, Himari asks, "What about our dream?" And he responds, "That wasn't our dream. That was my dream. And I've let it go." Crushed, Himari picks up the box of broken accessories and walks toward the window as if to throw them out, but she can't bring herself to do it. Instead, she gently places the box down and leaves without another word. We then see Natsume's face filled with sadness and regret. Later, at home, Himari sits quietly, still heartbroken. Her older brother walks in and asks her to join them for dinner. Seeing she's still in her uniform, he knows something's wrong. She tells him everything about Natsume quitting the business. Her brother listens and offers some honest advice. "Maybe you pressured him too much. Maybe you left him alone at the wrong time. But at least you were honest. Now, the rest is up to him. He has to walk this path on his own. It's a hard road and people will always talk. But if you let their words stop you, you'll never get anywhere. Just keep going." As he walks away, he turns back and asks what she's going to do next. Himari responds, "I don't know, but as his best friend, I'll support whatever he decides." The next day at school, Natsume comes to her and apologizes for what he said the previous weekend. He starts talking about everything and everyone. But Himari cuts to the point, "I'm not talking about others. What's your decision?" Natsume repeats, "I told you, I'm quitting until graduation." With a heavy heart, Himari replies, "Then I've made my decision too." If you're giving up your dream, I'm giving up on being your best friend. Shocked, Natsum stares at her, realizing just how serious she is. To be honest, it had been my dream for quite some time too. But you can't just make such decisions on your own. Honestly, I really enjoy spending time with you and being your friend means a lot to me. But if you keep making such ridiculous decisions, I won't be able to continue this friendship. After saying this, she tells him to stay alone and walks away. Natsum, still on the rooftop, says that only she could say something so absurd. He then explains that Himari didn't talk to him the entire weekend, nor did she come to his house like she used to. Just then, Inomoto shows up while Natsum is waiting. The two of them go to his house and start playing video games. Inomoto isn't good at gaming, but Natsum still enjoys spending time with her. Inomoto mentions how she hasn't had this much fun in a while, and Natsum agrees. While playing, Inomoto suddenly says, "Natsum, you're terrible at lying," to which he replies, "No, seriously, I'm enjoying the game." They then talk about themselves and about Himari too. Inomoto tells him that he shouldn't have acted the way he did, but Natsum says it wasn't entirely his fault. Himari was also being a bit too much. Natsum then tells Inomoto he wants to talk about something and takes her to his room. When Inomoto sees how messy it is, she's surprised. Natsum shows her a pair of earrings he made for her and shares how, ever since that day, he hasn't been able to sleep peacefully. He's been struggling to understand what he should do, and sometimes he questions why he's even making these things. Eventually, he realizes that he does it to keep Himari close, to keep her in his world. He feels like he's lost the one person who understood his love, his first and best friend. Sometimes he thinks he's just using people for his own benefit, and he admits he feels disgusted with himself. That's why he's thinking about quitting this work, because it wouldn't even be fair to his customers. At this, Inomoto hits him lightly on the head and says he's overthinking everything and needs to lighten up. Natsum asks how she can say that when he's filled with self-doubt and endless questions about himself. He admires how honest Inomoto is, how she helps her family run the store and works so hard. Inomoto replies that helping out isn't her choice. She hates it and gets frustrated, but she has no other option. She adds that when Natsum and Himari fought, she felt awful because she enjoys having both of them around. She knows he probably sees her as weird, especially after rejecting her, but she still keeps trying. She doesn't give up. Inomoto then confesses that she still likes him a lot. Just hearing his name makes her world feel brighter. She tells him not to be so embarrassed, he was blushing a lot, and that she wouldn't mind if he stopped making accessories. If he decided to do something else, she'd try to help him with that too, just so he wouldn't feel alone. She asks him to choose her or Himari. Natsum thinks that if he quit making accessories, he would choose Inomoto and life would probably be easier. But he just can't imagine life without Himari. So he apologizes to Inomoto and she replies that there's no need, she already knew what his answer would be. She adds, "Now that you seem to be feeling better, let's go." They head to school where Himari is watering flowers. She tells Natsum that she knows he's not going to quit making accessories and if he wants forgiveness, he better show some sincerity. Natsum doesn't quite understand what she means. Himari then says, "You'll have to do everything I tell you, not just today, but every day." Just then, Inomoto steps in and puts Himari in her place, even beating her up badly. Himari finally breaks down and says, "I'm sorry. I understand what I should really do now." She then goes to Natsum and apologizes for lying about moving to Tokyo. She admits she said that just to test him. Natsum tells her there's no need to apologize, it's all in the past and doesn't change how important she is to him. Suddenly, Himari becomes emotional and pours the water she was using for the plants over herself, no one knows why. Inomoto goes to get a towel, and in the meantime, Himari starts crying and says that even if Natsum were to quit making accessories, she'd still love watching him make them. It's her favorite thing in the world. She says she could watch him do it for a lifetime. Natsum then confesses that he wasn't actually planning to quit. He makes accessories just to see her happy. He apologizes again, and Himari starts laughing out loud. She acts really weird, something she hadn't done in any episode before, but finally returns to her old self, doing her usual silly things. Then she gets shy and sits close to Natsum's shoulder. She says, "If you like me so much, why don't we go on a date?" Natsum agrees, and Himari becomes very happy. Just then, a new girl enters the scene. Since it's summer break, she comes to pick someone up. She says, "My brother was busy, so I came instead. I know you're excited to meet Inomoto." By now, it's probably obvious who this character is. But just to be clear, her name is Korea. She's Inomoto's older sister, the same girl Hibai absolutely hates. So things are about to get even more interesting. Personally, I really enjoyed this episode. Every episode doesn't have to be just entertaining, some should be emotional too. And this one had the perfect balance. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next one. Until then, goodbye.